Hey everybody, how are you? Oh my gosh, I am looking rough. I have had a really rough couple of days here. Um, I don't know, some of you might be aware that I've been dealing with a lot of health problems lately. And most recently, I've been having really bad headaches in my temporal and in this region here. And I went to the emergency room last Tuesday night because the pain was so bad in the back of my head and the room was just spinning. So they took me to the hospital in an ambulance, told me I had a controlled migraine, and sent me back home. Now, this is our one horse town hospital here in this town that doesn't have a very good reputation. It's a small town hospital. They don't have the best care. I mean, they have the basic care, but not the best care. So I came home Tuesday night. I slept all day Wednesday. I woke up Thursday morning and I ordered some Instacart stuff. I had opened my door to pick up my Instacart bag, and apparently I passed out because I woke up on the floor and I was shaking so bad. And management found me and they called an ambulance for me. But when they did that, they did not bring my purse with me or my phone. So I was carted off to the hospital with nothing. And so I was transferred to my hospital here. And then when they saw my lab results and they saw how high my inflammation rate was and the fact that my head was hurting so bad, they were suspecting temporal arteriosis, something like that, where the arteries in your temples become so inflamed, and it's very dangerous because it can affect your vision and it can actually, make you lose your sight in your eyes. So they immediately transferred me down to Burlington, which is about, 30 miles from here. So here I am down in Burlington with none of my phone numbers, nobody to call. There was a phone number in the system for my cousin, but it was wrong. They had the wrong phone number. And so I thought I was calling her all weekend from the hospital phone, but apparently I wasn't. I don't know whose phone it was. To me, it sounded like her, but it must not have been. So here I am by myself, just going crazy. They had to do biopsies of each of these arteries here, which is why I have a new haircut now. It's a lot shorter than it was. And they did that on Friday, and that was scary as hell. I had a panic attack in the OR before they put me to sleep. And then when I woke up, there was this lady that was on the other side of me. Her and her friend, whoever they were over there talking for hours. After I've just gotten out of surgery and I need rest and I need quiet, I was so upset with those two people that they wouldn't quit talking. I put up with it for that day on Friday. But then, it was just getting to the point, but they just were not shutting up. He came back on Saturday. He was talking. She was talking. She was up all night Friday with her health issues. And I even called the nurse for her because she had dropped her call button. And she was having some sort of stomach issue. And they were trying to move her around. And she was screaming at the top of her lungs. And just, like a banshee, just screaming. Like she was dying or something. Like it would hurt her so bad. And I felt bad for her, but she kept me up all Friday night with that. And then Saturday, her friend comes and they talk all frickin' day long. So, And I was in pain, They cut into my head. They literally cut into my head. So I was hurting and I needed rest and silent. So apparently a new nurse was coming in to tell me that she was my new nurse, and I had my sleep mask on. And she lifted it up and I said, "Those two have not stopped talking for fucking hours." I was so upset because it was killing me. So they took me and they put me into a private room away from these people who just wanted to gab all day long. So I was in a private room all day long yesterday, thank God. And it was about maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They took me down there. Oh, my head hurts. It's gonna hurt for a while, because we're not sure yet if I have this disease that they're talking about, because it's going to take a while for the biopsy to come back. But I'm on high steroids, which is probably why I'm looking real puffy right now and real red. And so, yeah, I got to a private room and I was able to watch TV. I got to get cable. I'm hooked on these House Hunters. I love that show. I have a Roku TV, so I probably can get these shows. I just haven't really looked into it a lot since I got here. I did use it a lot in my last house, so I think I probably just forgot that my TV has these capabilities. So anyway, I came home today because last night, oh my God, guys, I had a meltdown. I was watching a show from Nashville, and it was the Opry, and all these memories just started coming back of all the wonderful times that we had in Nashville. All the wonderful times with our country music magazine, meeting all of these wonderful artists, being a part of the scene down there. I loved it so much. It was like the best part of my life, with Nashville and then with the baby, Elizabeth. And it was just so much joy down there. And I've missed it so much since coming up here. I'm grateful that I'm with my family, but if it was up to me, I'd be down there with my family because I loved Tennessee. The cost of living was just so much better, But Vermont has its assets. The healthcare up here is definitely much, much better than it was down in Tennessee. In Tennessee, you have to go through hoops to get on their state insurance. TennCare is one of the worst state insurances that ever existed, in my opinion. So when I came up here, I got on Medicare immediately just because of my low income. I didn't have to have ovarian cancer or breast cancer, and that's what Tennessee Medicaid was like. You had to be nearly dying before they would put you on that. And then they started taking people off of the program. So it just was not a good health care thing down in the Nashville area. And then we lived in the Nashville vicinity for about 20 years. Then we decided to move to East Tennessee because Murfreesboro was getting very, very dangerous with crime. People were breaking into restaurants and killing restaurant workers. So we moved to Pigeon Forge, which we thought was a lot safer, and it was, and we enjoyed that. But the healthcare in East Tennessee, if you watch Shimmer Shoal at all, you will hear how awful the healthcare in East Tennessee is. It is almost non-existent. The hospitals don't get along. The chains don't get along. They're always fighting. It takes months to get in to see a doctor. It takes months to get lab results and everything. And my husband was very ill, all right? He had severe bipolar. He had a severe back injury from when he fell years and years ago. It was like every vertebra in his back was damaged from a very serious fall that he had. And he'd been on morphine, 100 milligrams, for like 5 years. Well, when we got to East Tennessee, nobody would give him his medicine. Nobody. He had to fight through 5 or 6 doctors before, excuse me, I've been crying, because it's been very, very upsetting. And it took us a long time to find a doctor that would give him his morphine. But it was still just so par compared to a big city like Murfreesboro or Nashville. He got very sick. We had to take him to the hospital 3 times in 2011. He was having kidney issues. His kidneys were failing on him. And then they finally realized it was the blood pressure medicine. They took him off the blood pressure medicine. His kidneys were fine. Then in 2012, he was in the hospital again, and they found a tiny cyst on his liver. And this idiot doctor told him that he had stage 4 liver cancer, that he was going to die within a year. I mean, this is the kind of care we had down there. And it never did turn out to be cancer, but he had very bad cirrhosis because he was a very, very heavy drinker in his younger days. And so eventually the cirrhosis got so bad, his diabetes got so bad, and because the medical care was so insufficient, he eventually died because he just wasn't getting the right kind of medication. And that was in Tennessee. And that's the only reason why I don't run back to Tennessee, is because of the health care. But if it had been better, as it turned out, my family's up here. My family owns a farmhouse up here. Their homes are in New York, where I'm from, in Westchester County. My sister cousin is up here. So, I found the rest of my family after my husband died. And I went through so many hard things after him passing away in 2013. 2014 through 2018 was like one of the hardest years of my life. And then when I finally got up here, everything just kind of fell into place. And I'm here in this wonderful apartment. Thank God they found me on Thursday. I don't think I would have died, but, it could have been worse. And I'm just lucky to be alive right now, and lucky to be seeing, My vision is completely back. I'm not, swirling around anymore, so I'm feeling a lot better. And on top of that, my cousins are up here, thank God, and I'm going to have dinner with them later. And I need that so bad, because like I said, I had such a breakdown last night over Nashville, and over Dave, and over Elizabeth, and it was just, I couldn't sleep. They couldn't give me anything for my sleep, but I was just up, pacing my room all night long, and crying, and just missing all the fun stuff of Nashville. And I've had a hard life, but I've had a blessed life in a way, because everything that we did in Nashville was so exhilarating and so fun. And if it wasn't for Dave, I wouldn't have been able to pursue my musical career. It didn't get very far, but, it got me out, in the bars and stuff, singing and all that. I never did make the big time like I wanted to, but yeah, who does? It takes a lot of luck. It takes a lot of devotion and young. You got to be young to do this, because I was in my 50s when we got here. It was like, who's going to hire on a 50-year-old person who doesn't play any instruments, has just been karaoke queen her whole life, right? But hell, it was still fun, and I'm doing my karaoke channels all the time now with all my friends in low places on the internet. So, I think I've got it pretty good. But that's what's been going on with me for the past couple of days, and that's why I haven't been around. And that's why I'm a mess right now. So I have to take a whole bunch of food out of my refrigerator, excuse me, and take it out to the, what do you call it? the disposal place where you had to put your food. I had chicken in there that I was going to cook that night that was open, so now I'm going to have to throw that all out. I had an 8-pack of chicken wings, chicken thighs that I was going to cook, so I got to go take care of all of that. Winnie, she is such an independent cat. I was worried about her, and I don't need to worry about her when I'm away from home because Charlie never comes near me anyway. She's such a little diva. I mean, I love her, but she's just not the lover that Vivi was, the cat I had before her. And, she'll come up when she wants loving, and then she'll leave, and then she'll just be sleeping under the bed or under the chair, and that's it. She's just a very laid back, not very playful cat. So I got to get all of my things off of me. Here's my proof that I was in the hospital for 4 days. They took out my IV, and so that's all that. So I'm going to take care of this apartment. I'm going to take a shower, and I should be back up and running Monday night. Joe Tenner usually does his karaoke Monday nights, if he's feeling well enough. We all have a lot of health problems, all of us here on YouTube, and that we're dealing with. But that's life, right? Nobody's perfect. I love you all. Thank you for listening to my rant, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.